Hey, how's it going, guys? In this video, I will be letting you know how hard it is to run Wolfenstein The New Order. Sorry this video is coming out a little late. The game actually releases about an hour in my time as of recording this video. So yeah, I gotta record this video, then I'll be hopping on the game and checking out the specs and all that kind of stuff and actually running some benchmarks with the card. But yeah, with that being said, let's get right into the specifications for this game. So for the minimum CPU requirement, we're looking at a Core 2 Duo E8200. This is a 2.66 GHz CPU. Very old CPU, not something that a lot of people run these days unless you built your PC about 3 to 4 years ago. Very old CPU. Most likely you have something better than this. As far as AMD minimum CPU requirement, the Phenom 2 X2 545. Dual core CPU as well. Again, a very old CPU. Not something recent, and most of you guys have something better like an i3 or something of that nature. Now, recommended requirements is actually a little weird because you're going all the way from a Core 2 Duo to a Core i7 930. Now, keep in mind that the recommended Core i7 is a lower-end Core i7. It's not one of the newer brands, like a 2600K even, or a 3770K or a 4770K, but still it is an i7. And as far as recommended AMD CPU requirements goes, you have a Phenom 2 X6 1090T. Now that is a 6-core CPU, so it does look like this game is going to take advantage of more than 4 cores, so that's good to see. Meaning that an FX 6300 will probably also work fairly well with this game. Moving on to the graphics card, minimum graphics card requirements from NVIDIA is the GeForce GTX 250, very old graphics card again, AMD Radeon HD 6670. The 6670 was actually one of the best budget-end graphics card a couple years back. I liked it a lot, and just goes to show it's still a very good card to this day. I think you can still buy it on sites like Newegg for very cheap, probably like $60, $70, and yeah, it can still run games fairly decently, like Wolfenstein The New Order. Obviously, it's minimum requirements, so you're not going to be running them at good settings, but hey, can still run games. As far as recommended requirements goes, as for NVIDIA, you got the GeForce GTX 460, and for AMD, you have the Radeon HD 6850. Very old models of these graphics cards. The 460 is a couple generations behind. The 6850, same thing. It's a generation behind. 460 performs equivalent to something like a 650 Ti, maybe a 750, around that range. And then the 6850 performs around the range of a 7770 or an R9 260X. So, you know, take your pick. I don't know why they're still using these old generation models as recommended requirements. Guys, we're in 2014. At least update your graphics card requirements to the current, current line of graphics cards, because why are you using older generation GPUs to, specify your recommended requirements for, a game that's released in 2014? Use current hardware, because there is hardware out right now that performs similarly to these graphics cards, so it just doesn't make sense to me, but whatever. I'm sure Bethesda and the guys that developed this game have a reason for doing it, and I'm just too stupid to realize, but hey, moving on. For the RAM, minimum RAM requirement, 3 gigabytes, odd number of RAM, and then recommended RAM is 4 gigabytes, so not a very big difference between the two. I'm sure having 8 gigabytes would be better with this game. It just seems like this is one of those newer games. It's being released on next-gen consoles, and I feel like 8 gigabytes is probably the ideal amount of RAM you want for this game. Even though it's recommending 4 gigabytes, sometimes developers just are weird like that. They're just like, oh, we're recommending 4 gigabytes, but if you really want to run it, you're going to need 8. Sometimes they do stupid stuff like that. Like the Assassin's Creed games, for example, they have a tendency of doing stuff like that. And I feel like this is another instance where the developers are doing that, where they're recommending 4 gigabytes, but in actuality, you're probably going to want to have 8 for this game to run it in good settings. Now, one final thing that I just want to address about this game that is actually crazy to me, because I got home today, I was like, let me pre-order Wolfenstein The New Order since it's coming out tonight. How many gigs is it? It is 41 gigabytes. Wow, this is a single-player only game and it's 41 gigabytes. This shocked the hell out of me. I was expecting 6, 7, maybe 10 gigabytes at the most. Nope. 40 gigabytes. That just completely shocked me, threw me for a loop. I guess with these next generation titles, you are going to be expecting bigger file sizes, but man, a game like Wolfenstein The New Order, I figured it was going to be like Thief, Thief was about 20 gigs, and I figured Wolfenstein would actually be a little bit smaller, but that shocked me. 41 gigabytes is just crazy for a game like this, but I actually had to uninstall some stuff because I needed to make room for it. I was like, damn, 41 gigabytes. Yeah, that was pretty crazy, and I really didn't hear about it beforehand, so that came as a shock to me, but that just goes to show a 1 terabyte hard drive is not going to do for some people these days, because, you know, you have games like Wolfenstein, The New Order, you have games like Battlefield 4, Titanfall, that are taking up, you know, 40, 50 gigabytes just on its own, and then you have the DLC for those games, and it just gets crazy, you know, the file sizes for these games. So yeah, thanks for watching this video, guys. Remember to hit that subscribe button, like this video. Stay tuned for the Wolfenstein benchmark videos and, you know, my overall opinion of the game as it's being released in about 40 minutes as of this recording. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.